I'm going to be honest to you folks, I'm not fond of Fastlane for the simple reason that the WWE's pissed me off in two ways. One, instead of having Elimination Chamber, which was a really good pay-per-view in itself, I really believe that we enjoyed Elimination Chamber because it really showed that when you're on the road to WrestleMania, you need to get the weak from the strong. You need to eliminate the weak so the strong will truly go to WrestleMania. But we didn't get that. We get the stupid Fastlane gimmick. I don't like it. It's a piece of crap. And then they removed the 1 month lag between Elimination Chamber to WrestleMania, which now feels like everything is being really compressed. And they're trying to squeeze so much in to try and get interest for WrestleMania. For me personally, it's frustrating. But I will say this about this show. Am I really hyped for Fastlane? No. But there were a couple of nuggets in here that I did enjoy that is interesting me to go to Fastlane. It is. Doesn't mean I'm 100% behind Fastlane, but I am more interested in it. Let's get to the New Day versus the Dust Brothers. The only reason I'm bringing them up at all, New Day at all, because I don't really care about them at all, is because Cody and Dustin, finally, Goldust and Stardust, really are showing a more stronger of a conflict. Because it wasn't the fact that New Day was there and they won the match. It was the fact that Cody just walks off 100%. He doesn't even get angry because Dustin or Goldust messes up in the ring. He just goes, well, I'm gone. I actually enjoyed it. The backstage of Goldust saying, look, this is not Goldust, this is Dustin, your brother. You're my brother, Cody. And he shoves him and knocks him to the ground and said, Cody is dead. It is just Stardust. I know people are not 100 fond. It frustrates me that they just couldn't give Cody Rhodes a better character. They couldn't just let him be who he is. They had to team him up with his brother Dustin and become basically like Dustin. But I am happy that finally, after almost 2 years, these two are finally going to possibly have a feud. And this is what we've been wanting for so long. That's just me. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is the Paul Heyman segment with Brock Lesnar. I'm going to say this honestly. Paulie, who is sometimes a hit and miss because we've seen him so much, he did a better job than Stephanie and Triple H in the beginning of the show. I'm saying it right now. I was more interested in seeing what was going to happen at Fastlane with Brock Lesnar now than I want to see what's going on when it comes to Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns because of weapons. Because Stephanie and Triple H just made it boring. I've been hearing them so much. They made the segments in the beginning of the show so lengthy. I just lose interest in them. And I'm still a Triple H fan. I love me some Stephanie. She's a beautiful, sexy woman with a nice body. She actually can talk well on the mic sometimes because she tends to botch now, particularly she did in the beginning of the show. She botched. But I was more interested in hearing Paulie than any one of them. And that's the truth. But I won't say that the segment with Triple H dealing with Sting, well, not Sting directly, some guy jumped into the ring as Sting, trying to hype up him finally going to have the showdown with Sting, the talk that will lead to WrestleMania. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't want to see Sting with Triple H. I don't want to see Bray Wyatt with The Undertaker. Put the people we want together now, WWE. But you're going there. So I have to see it for what it is. And I will say the segment with Triple H, with all the video was very good. The lighting was good. The guy jumping in the ring was good. So that interests me. I want to know. Eyes are itching really bad. I want to know how this is going to go down at Fastlane. What are these two going to do? I want to see Sting. I want to see Sting at Fastlane now. And that's a good thing. Now, the two matches I believe did not need to be done. Ryback and Seth Rollins and Dolph versus Bray. Now, we saw Dolph versus Bray last week, and exactly the same thing happened with a little bit extra where they were about to Bray was about to slam Dolph on the concrete when he pulled up the mat. To be honest, you didn't need it. I mean, they're trying to rebuild Bray Wyatt. And they should have done this months ago. I'm just saying. But using Dolph Ziggler was not necessary. Because what was the point of Dolph winning the way he did at... I gotta calm. When you look at Survivor Series, Dolph looked like he was going to be doing something. Then when they got him off TV for about 2 weeks, you think something's going to lead to something. But what do we get? Nothing. He gets his ass handed to him last week, and he gets his ass handed to him this week. I'm not a big Dolph Ziggler fan. I think that, and I've said this so many times, Dolph Ziggler is easily an uppercarter talent. There's no problem with him being an uppercarter. He can go into the main event, be in a storyline. He can even win the title briefly as a transitional champion to help prolong storylines, to help put storylines over. Then he can go down to the mid-card and help the people there, and he can stay floating back and forth where he can be doing something good. He's not a main eventer. Even though people want to make him a main eventer because they want to stick it to the WWE, but he's not. But does not mean he can't be in the main event. But seeing this makes no fucking sense. You do something with him in Survivor Series. You do something with him in TLC. You get him off TV just to bring him back to job to Bray Wyatt twice. I'm just saying it's stupid. The next one is, as I said earlier, Seth versus a Ryback who really does not need to be in this situation. Ryback, who came back and the people really want to cheer for, is having the job technically to Seth Rollins, where he gets a DQ because the J&J security come in and beat his ass up. Come on. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need to be in this situation. It's actually a stupid situation. It really is. Now, when you look at Mizdow versus Sin Cara, this is a good thing. I don't really care Sin Cara won. He's there to promote storylines now. That's what Sin Cara's for. He's there to be a plot device for somebody. Fine. He's still getting paid. The guy's getting paid. Hunico is getting paid. So, good for him. But when it comes down to it, this is good for Damien Sandow because The Miz is giving him the same treatment as Alex Riley got when he had his chance to become a face and be beastly. Ugh. Sorry. My allergies are really bad. It's making my eye twitch. But seeing this gives me a lot of hope that when he does turn face, that he will be beastly, that the people will cheer the hell out of him, and when he becomes a face, he'll be doing something. Unless they give him the full treatment of Alice Riley and basically do absolutely nothing with him. Please, WWE, don't be stupid. You got an opportunity with Damien Sandow. Go all the way with it instead of dropping it. I'm just saying. Now, the Paige versus Brie. I don't really care. I don't care to have a match at Fastlane because there's been nothing for the Bellas. The Bellas had their moment and the WWE didn't fulfill it. Didn't go all the way with it. And I was stupid enough to look at Total Divas this week and hearing Brie said, I have the perfect opportunity now. I have a chance to have a match, a signature match with my sister. Bullshit. Because she should have had a signature match with her sister for the Divas Champion like everyone thought it should be. No matter if you like it or not, you can see it. And even if you didn't want to see it, it should have happened because then it would make things more understandable. And then when you go off doing something else, you can always refer to them both saying, you know what? One had the championship, the other one took it from her, and then it would have made better sense. I'm not a Bella fan, but I like when storylines make sense, even if they suck to a certain extent. Unless they're bullshit, like Superbad, I don't want to have nothing to do with it. But their storyline, even though it was garbage, would have made better sense now. It would have. But it's bullshit. And as much as I love me some Paige, I just don't see anything interesting between them. There's no feud. There's nothing. But when you look at the Usos versus Kidd and Cesaro, there is a feud there. Cesaro, I'd rather see him as a singles competitor. Tyson Kidd, he's alright in a tag team. He just is. If they give him a better character, then I wouldn't mind them seeing him in the mid-card, easily getting the IC Championship. But this really doesn't feel about the Usos versus Cesaro and Kidd. This is about Naomi, and this is about Natalya. You got two women who are married to two guys, where one couple's having a problem, where the other couple's having a slice of life that's wonderful. And Jonathan, John, don't mess up what you got with Naomi Trinity. Because a lot of people are going to get fucking angry at you and want to kill your ass. And I will be in fucking front of the line if you do not treat Naomi properly. Trinity deserves to be treated properly. Do not fuck her over. Or if I can, I will hunt you down and hit you with my fucking cane. Because I do walk with one. But seeing this, I'm interested in seeing how far they're going to go with Natalya and Naomi. This could actually be a push for Naomi again. Look, Naomi had a moment with The Miz and her husband. Now Naomi has a moment with Natalya, a former Divas champion, multiple-time Divas and Women's champion, and her husband. If this is to get Naomi over, to give something for her to do until WrestleMania, when maybe she'll finally get a moment that she deserves, I'm all for it, because this is something different. We have Paige getting the titles. We have the Bella Twins getting the titles. We had basically Natalya over and over again get the titles. Now we'll have someone totally different. A black woman who has some charisma, some ability in the ring, and a good speaking voice if she doesn't get a little nervous on the mic. And since she doesn't really have much time on the mic, I'm hoping if they do give her this opportunity, she will improve. But she has the right look. She can go in the ring. She can tell a story. She does have charisma. Mic skills, I will be honest, since she doesn't talk much, I know her mic skills suck. But at least I'm honest to say it. So this is what I'm hoping for. Dean Ambrose and Curtis Axel. I can't believe they're still doing the Axel thing. But I understand the reason why they're doing it, because of BNZ. That actually works for Bad News Barrett. If he had his own show, welcome ladies and gentlemen, this is Bad News Barrett, and here is BNZ. See how everything's going bad for Dolph Ziggler. Dolph, I got some bad news for you. You suck. I actually think this would work. This angle of BNZ could work if they promote it properly. I really believe this might actually work. The little bit going, the scroll going across there was actually not a bad thing. Now seeing this, I really hope they do promote this properly before Fastlane. I want to see more of this on Raw. They got 2 more weeks. Give us something more with him. Does this mean I really want to see Dean Ambrose get the IC Championship? I'd rather see him in the main event, but they want to give him the IC Championship because of what's going on in the main event, so fine. Just make sure you promote him properly. Even with the IC Championship, that'll be alright, unless they make him generic, and that's bullshit. Now, I'm going to just say this briefly. Rikishi is going in the Hall of Fame. I will be doing a debate of the week. That is coming later, and I'm not saying any more, because that's awesome, and I want to talk about it by itself. Now, let's see. Rusev Maska dealing with John Cena. I'm scared he's going to get buried by John Cena. But I have to say that if John Cena is going after the US Championship and he keeps it for a while and not going to the main title scene, as much as I don't want to see Rusev buried, I'm all for it. Let someone who's in the main event go down and come back up later. That's the way it used to be. I'm hoping John Cena does win the US Championship. Let him stick with it for a while. Let him do something with it for a while. And then later give it up and go back into the main title. Let there be some time in the main title scene, ladies and gentlemen. We need it. And that leads me to the end and the beginning of the show. And as you already know, I didn't care about Stephanie's segment. I didn't care about Triple H's segment in the beginning of the show. I did care about Daniel Bryan and the Roman Empire, the Roman Reigns. I can say this. It felt a little choppy with Daniel Bryan, but it wasn't too bad. And when it came to Roman Reigns, he didn't sound bad at all. He sounded decent. The interview they had, Roman sounded very good. But it did seem like it was forced for Daniel Bryan. He seemed like he had to force it, and that didn't sound too good. But that also means that he wasn't interested in seeing Roman Reigns there. When it came to the 5-on-2 match, I didn't really care that much about it. It wasn't a bad match. I just didn't care. I wanted to see what was going to end up at the end. And it's Daniel Bryan who fought most of the match. Then when the rejects of Dolph, of Eric, of Ryback, of my own kidney being cut out of my goddamn body, because who wanted to see that? These guys deserve better than to do something like that. It was stupid. But it's understandable they wanted to take something off because they wanted to show how Daniel Bryan could beat over adversity. Can beat adversity. But then Roman Reigns gets to win, which pisses him off. And then the spear goes to Daniel Bryan after they have their stare down. The crowd was fucking angry. They could not stand that Roman Reigns speared their chosen one in the moniker of Drew McIntyre. If you saw my debated week on Drew, he's now in TNA. Take a look at my, I think I'll leave it in the comment below. I'll leave it down there so you can take a look at it. But essentially, the chosen one by the YWC and IWC and fans got fucking speared by a Roman Reigns and they couldn't stand it. But you know what? I'm glad it happened. You know why? Because now you have a more better feud going into Fastlane. Now they can build on something. Because everybody wants to go, yes, yes. Why? Think about why you're cheering. The reason you love Daniel Bryan is because he's an underdog. There used to be a TV show called Underdog with a dog who used to do almost anything. That's the reason why it's called Underdog. A dog can't do anything, but he did. Daniel Bryan has done everything. Gone against adversity. Had managed to rise to the top. You want him to have an actual challenge. If you want to give him whatever he's going to get, why do we fucking care? I want something that means something. Daniel Bryan's a good talent, but he's got to have someone good to play off of. Let a Roman Reigns go through this. And I'm going to say this again. And as much as people may not want to hear this, if they see this video, the person that needs to go to WrestleMania needs to be Roman Reigns. Because Daniel Bryan already had his moment. We need more people in the main event. And we don't get more people in the main event, you're just going to complain worse than what you are. I agree with the Slug Daddy that I'm a mark. I do believe I'm a casual mark, if there's such a thing. I'm not a smart mark, but I am a casual one. And I love wrestling. I believe wrestling can give us so much. It can give us intrigue, it can give us some type of mystery. It can give us excitement. It can help us find something in ourselves that we want to have. But you have to have a reason to have it. That means you have to have a reason for a conflict, for the good guy to beat the bad guy. And if you don't have that, what is the point of ever believing in something? You got to believe in something. Just wanting to have a good wrestler in WrestleMania means nothing if there isn't something to fight for. Now, I don't know if they're going to be doing something good in the next 2 weeks, but I am interested in seeing what's going to happen at Fastlane now, because there were some things that I mentioned that has interested me. And I hope they build on top of that. And I hope you enjoyed the Zane's View. Please give me a comment below. I will be getting my Rikishi debate of the week out, but you will be seeing my debate on what if there was no Hulk Hogan. That will be going with this one on a Wednesday. I think I'll be airing this one on Wednesday and that one as well. I'm not sure. It may come out Thursday. And the debate about Rikishi will come out Friday. I'm not sure. I have some stuff to do. Have a good day and have a good night.